Hello guys, Freedom Tower back at some more Hell Let Loose. Honestly, I just have to make this video just to be completely honest. I just have to rant about like on the console side and maybe on the PC side of things on fucking tanking. I'm not gonna lie, honestly. Tanking in Hell Let Loose is not as fun as it was back then. It was not as fun. Literally, heavy tanks dominate the entire match. So there's no variety, no kind of like situation where each tank kind of shines at. Like, oh yeah, the Jumbo 76 is as good as a tank buster. The light tank good with infantry support, or even the medium. Like, there's no clear, well, clear, well way to like tell that honestly. So the reason I'm making this video, honestly, again, I'm gonna repeat myself a lot. Keep in mind, I'm a fucking retard. So I'll be repeating. If you hear me repeat myself a couple times, I don't go off by a script. Honestly, I just don't do that personally. I might do that later on in the future, but that's besides the point. Anyways, so the current state of tanking in Hell Let Loose is pretty stale. What I mean by that is there's only one tank in the game that dominates the entire game mode. Doesn't matter what it is, and that's the heavy tank. Everybody knows the heavy tank. Everybody knows the American Sherman Jumbo 76, the Panther and or Tiger for the Germans, the IS-1s, ones for the Russians, even though they should have also put in the KV-1 as well, and for the British, the Churchill, and as well, no, I think it's just the Churchill. That's it. Now, to anybody who doesn't play Hell Let Loose, or people who are new to Hell Let Loose, or veterans, or whatever the case may be, if you guys don't know what's going on, or why I kind of like complaining about it, here's my reasoning on why. So overall, we can all agree that when you're tanking in Hell Let Loose, it's super fun, where you have what I would call a fury moment, meaning you're fighting a waves upon waves of infantry. You have AT trying to take you out. You have incoming tanks coming at you. Like, you're getting surrounded. You're absolutely like pushing your squad to the limit. You're pushing the tank to the limits. And those moments, when you have those moments, is hint the reason why I love tanking Hell Let Loose, and I the love the game a lot, is because of those moments. Not only because of tanking primarily, but also like infantry, commander, and whatnot. Now, for this kind of goes on with my other video I put out before about new players. Again, I'm gonna put this out there. I don't mind teaching new players. I don't think anybody, any veteran player who's been playing Hell Let Loose for actually a couple years now, like at least like a couple years from now or whatever, I don't think they're gonna get upset for you asking for help. No new player's gonna get shit for asking a dude who's been playing for like having like 500 to even 1,000 hours for help on how to play the game or understand the mechanics. That will never ever happen. Like, that's just never going to happen. Most of these my complaints are more towards like newer tank players. Like, I'm happy about this, but like, you guys need to understand this concept, right? I'm gonna go everywhere on this video, so again, this is just a rant. So if I anything, I'll have to start making a script. But anyways, overall, although for the newer players, if you are going to play tanks and you have like buddies of yours that also you want to tank with, please, for the love of God, you will help a lot of people out by doing this. Just fucking lock the squad, please. Just lock the squad. It is not a hard thing to do. Just lock the squad. You do that, right? No one else joins. Or even try to vote to kick you or whatever the case may be. But overall, though, I'm not gonna say that I'm upset that we have newer tank players. No, I don't mind having newer tank players to play the game. I put out a video instructing how to play tanks properly and what each of the roles should be doing. If I'm missing out anything, please comment below. Comment below and let me know what I'm missing, so I can add on to it. But overall, just to give a rundown, right? The video was basically only about armor and armor alone. On each of the position of the tank's role, each of the crewmates' role, and whatnot. For instance, like since I am playing the tank commander, which I will always say this, it is preferred to have the tank commander play as the spotter. There's 100 different fucking reasons, but if we use common sense, if you played infantry or any other like leadership role, you know that you can see pings all around the map. So meaning, let's say hold the right D-pad, boom, there's my ping, 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 boom, boom, boom. You're keeping your tank informed, you're helping everyone out, you're doing your job as the tank commander. I know everybody wants to be the gunner, but me personally, my favorite position in the tank is mostly the driver and or the spotter. That's it. But the reason why, again, tank commander needs to be in the spotter position, because again, they can see other squads pings. It doesn't make sense for the tank commander to be in the driver's seat for no reason in a 3-man. I'm specifying only in a 3-man. It should make no sense for the tank commander to be in the driver's seat, because he needs to always look at the map, A. B, let the tankers know where they're going, and 3, let the gunner know what's going on, as well as the driver. So that's why pretty much it's really important that if you're a playing tank commander and you have a full 3-man, take the spotter role. It doesn't matter. You will get, because the beautiful thing about playing armor is the fact that your kills are shared across the board. So meaning if your gunner gets like 50 kills, you also get 50 kills, even as a spotter. Even all you're doing is just pinging. You're literally getting XP for every time your teammate kills an infantry or blows another tank up. Everybody gets XP. Everybody shares the same thing. The only time it doesn't become shared is unless one of the tank members or tank commander gets out the tank and dies, or gets one kill and then hop backs on the tank. Then the kills don't really match up. The shitty part about it is, though, about playing tanks overall now, is the fact the tank variety is not that great. It's not great. Like, heavy tanks dominate the entire meta. The entire meta. As soon as you get a heavy on the field, depending which heavy takes out who first, you're gonna definitely steamroll the other team. It is going to happen. This is annoying. It's not fun. It's very frustrating. Hell, is it possible for even a Sherman? Like, some people don't even know this. It is possible in a medium tank Sherman that you could pen the Panther from the front. If you're an experienced player, you know this already. That little right-hand corner on the turret. There's like two shots? Wait, 1, 2 shots. Yep. Like, features like that is actually pretty cool. I would love for heavy tanks to have some kind of weakness in the front with fighting a medium. Or hell, if one thing, even a lot of people even ask for this. I was one of those people. One thing that this game really, I would love for this game to have, right, is a tank destroyer. I think everybody could agree a tank destroyer would actually shift the armor meta a lot. Or even hell, like, I'm taking this from a little bit from the podcast with Fresh Base Goods, where he mentioned like swapping ammo types, like to experiment around. I would honestly love to see more of it. I will also love to see an armor rework, because honestly, like if I'm in an extreme angle, let's say like a diamond position on a panther, I should be basically almost unkillable fighting another tank. Or if I'm in the Jumbo 76 and I do the same thing and I'm angling my armor and I'm fighting a panther, most of the shots should literally bounce off if I'm angled correctly. Another thing I would also like, again, I would like to see the purpose of each of the tanks. Like for instance, like heavy tanks are primarily really good at being defensively, so they're pretty much your dedicated defense. And it's kind of like thing going on. It could defend the points pretty well. Medium tanks are overall all like really well-round tank. These guys could be in the front lines, fight with the infantry and support them, but also take on other tanks. Light vehicle goes strictly tank infantry support. Recon just pester them from behind and just annoy the shit out of them. But I want each of the tanks to have a role, so that way they are getting rewarded for each of the roles and for purpose, instead of having just the heavy tank just literally dominate the entire game. And another idea, this is from I believe his name Gabba Gaming. He's a hella loose content creator. He even mentioned there's one more thing I would honestly love. I would love a rework of the satchels. I don't want satchels to be taking out heavy tanks. In my opinion, I don't think they should be taking out heavy tanks. Now there's reasons why I say that. It's because of the fact like satchels were not as powerful as you really think they are. They're not. Like, they're enough to kill a medium tank, but that's about it. It's not enough to kill, like, let's say a tiger. It just doesn't work. Like, you'll like damage it, but you're not gonna destroy it or kill it. That's not how it works. How I want the satchel to work is depending where I put it. If I put it on the side, it will destroy the tracks completely, and as well as damage the hull. If I put it on the back, completely damages the engine, also damages the tracks or destroys the tracks. If I put it even higher, if I put the satchel a little bit higher, let's say around here, I could damage the gun and a little bit of the hull, but overall I can eliminate the gun. That way you could be very careful where you want to put your satchel and whatnot. If you won't even put it in the front, all it'll do is do basically nothing. It's not going to damage you or anything. Forcing players that they have to at least go on the ass, plant it on the ass, and make that tank immobile, rather than just, oh, I'm just going to go over here, boop, 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 put my satchel here, run away. Hey, sit this far or even further, watch the tank, and it blows up in like 30 seconds. It's not fun. Rather than, oh, I snuck up behind this Jumbo 76, I'm gonna put my statue on it, I'm gonna blow his engine, and let my squad lead or other tankers or whoever know, hey, the tank's immobile, he's on this spot, or whatever the case may be. making heavy tanks a little bit more feared, but also giving satchels a little bit more utility. Now for my next segment, like I said, this video is gonna pretty much go everywhere. But right now, I'm just in the training room, just honestly goofing off, being a goofball. But anyways, another thing I would love. Now the thing is like armor is really fun. It is really fun to play armor. It is very, very, very intense. You will have your moments like that. But how armor is now, it's very stale. There's nothing new going on, and they're not really adding new vehicles, which is pretty shitty, to be honest with me. But if later in the future, if they do add new vehicles, like for the Americans, excuse me, for the Americans, I would say this: they're gonna add tank destroyers and/or SPGs, self-propelled guns, mobile artillery. We'll say for the Americans, you can either bring the M10 Wolverine, and/or the M36. You could bring up one of those two up. Hell, I'll even go even further. Add a brand new light tank. Put the Chieftain back on as a different variant of the light tank for the Americans. The only difference is like, yes, it has light armor penetration, but the very least it can at least fight like a medium tank head on. At least it could do that. It'll still get one shot, but it could take a medium tank at least head on. The bare minimum. They are faster, lightly armored, but a better gun. So they can be able to fight a Panzer IV at least head on. I would do that for the American light tank to give them Chieftain, as well as give them either the M10 or M36. For the Germans, it is iconic. Is the tank destroyer, the Stug. The Stug is iconic. Like, honest to God, like, we might as well put it in the game. This will create a brand new dynamic since it doesn't have a rotating turret. So, meaning it's all on the driver and the gunner communicating and seeing how things go. Oh yeah, and SPGs, I almost forgot about that. For the American, it would be the Priest 100%. And for the Germans, probably the Dicker Max, maybe? I'm not too sure. I don't know much about the Germans' SPGs. I know the Stug had an SPG variant, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But for the Russian Su-85, and as well as like the Su-122 as a SPG. For the British, honestly, the Achilles. If not, you can bring back the Firefly. Honest to God, you can bring back the Firefly as a tank destroyer. And for SPG, once you give him the Priest suit, honestly, why not? That's how I would do it. Hell, even for the Russians, give them a brand new heavy tank, something to spice things up. Like, for me personally, I don't like the fact that we have, for the Americans, 2 heavy tanks, but only one is dominant. Versus the Germans, everyone goes for the Panther, but also the Tiger is actually pretty good too, so they're both pretty good tanks to have in the field. For the Americans, all they have is the Jumbo 75 and a 76. 75 coming with the 3 different rounds, smoke, HE, AP, and regular Jumbo 76 has a literal fucking AP and HE. That's all it has. The issue I have with the American side heavy tanks is the fact that the 76 gets like 60 fucking HE rounds. If you ask me, that doesn't really make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Like, it just doesn't. I would honestly, if you gave me the ability to change at least how armor works, like for starters, the Jumbo 76 should only have a lot more AP than HE. if we're gonna go this route, I'm gonna again take a bit of an idea from the podcast with Fresh Baked Goods and the others on them. But I would say give the Jumbo 76 takes a lot of AP, forcing players to use it as a tank. Okay, it just blows up randomly. Whatever. The Jumbo 76 as a dedicated tank destroyer, but has the 75 give it a shit ton of HE and a little bit more smokes and take away some AP from it, and you will see a lot more people gravitate towards at least the 75 for infantry support and the Jumbo as a kind of tank destroyer, heavy tank kind of ideal. Another thing about so overall, now one last thing about armor before I end this video here is, again, allow me to rant here, right? Stop solo tanking. This doesn't help out the team. I'm gonna be honest with you, honest, 100%. Solo tanking doesn't fucking help. It doesn't fucking help. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I never understand this concept where I would hop in the game and see 2 armor squads. There's only 1 and 1, and none of them are locked. I don't understand why. I can understand if, let's say, the game just started and they both want to play as tank commander, whatever, cool. But here's the problem: is if the game lasts, let's say we're playing Warfare, and the game lasts 30 whole minutes, and there's still 2 tank squads or 2 solo tankers, that's a fucking problem. I don't like solo tanking. I don't care what anybody fucking says. Solo tanking does not help out at all. It actually makes things worse because you're wasting more resources, wasting out more tanks. The infantry is definitely gonna getting their shit pushed in because you are driving a fucking, how much fuel is it called? What, 600? Because you refuse to join another person so you guys can fuck shit up. Like, I don't understand that. I don't like solo tanking. I never have, never will whatsoever. There's not one case where I'm thinking, okay, a solo tanker would be great. No. Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. And I get that Hell Let Loose is a arcade tactical milsim shooter. Like, I understand that. Like, hell, it doesn't punish you for dying. It doesn't punish you for anything. You literally just redeploy with max ammo. Like, I'm fine with Hell Let Loose with how it is. I'm okay with that. But I'm really annoyed by mostly the fact, like, every game I have played, primarily, most of the time I play a lot of tanking and a tad bit commander. I don't like seeing bad tankers. I hate seeing bad tankers. I really, really hate bad tankers. Because it's not fun. It is not fun. It is not fucking fun. Fighting solo tankers is easy kills. Fighting a full 3-man, that's a challenge. I enjoy fighting another tank squad where, like, we're playing these mind games. Like, okay, we're gonna set up here, set up shop over here. Hey, where that tank is rolling up over here. Yeah, I see him. He's by the hedgerow. He's peeking out. Blah blah blah. Like, You see how, like, I don't mind that. I like that a lot more than anything else. Now, no, obviously it's just bullshitting at this point. But overall, though, like, I love tanking in Hell Let Loose. Tanking is one of my favorite things in the game. But honestly, what Team 17 needs to do, like, in order to at least make this game at least profitable or have a major comeback, like even like fucking Helldivers had a massive comeback because they pretty much buffed everything. The best way for Hell Let Loose to do things is actually need to pump out content, meaning brand new tanks, brand new ideas, brand new factions, more maps, not for the Americans, but for also for the Russians and the British, because there's no reason these guys should not have a brand new map right now. Like Tobruk, really, you could have added that. Like they could have added that for the British. Like, you know what I mean? For the Russians, there's like a billion battles, like hundreds upon hundreds of battles in a span of 4 years they could pick from. The Russians got, like, the Russians have something. You could pick a map and turn it into a map. Um, like,